What if we brought back PDAs? What if we brought back pagers? What if we had a pager? Have you ever watched old ER? Do you guys know what pagers are? I think doctors still use pagers, don't they? You guys know what a pager is? You've carried one? Nice. Pager, I hardly know her. So there's these devices called pagers, right? And in places like, especially in hospitals, they would use pagers to discreetly contact doctors that they need to be places on the hospital. So if you've ever watched ER, the show ER involving George Clooney that was set in the 90s, you'll see them reacting to their pagers. Yeah. You're old enough to remember them? Discreetly, and then they beep loudly? Yes. I think a lot of people, I mean, I'm seeing it quite literally in the chat. People are associating pagers with, let's say, other means, other things recently. They're called beepers as well? I've never heard of beepers. I always just heard them referred to as pagers. I guess because they do beep. That's a literal definition of it, right? What's the difference between a PDA and a pager? A PDA is a, what is it, a personal digital assistant or something? PDA definition. Oh, public display of affection. Thank you, Google. Personal digital assistant. Oh, god damn it. I think this is you guys. You guys have done this to me. I googled PDA definition. Public display of affection autism definition. It's just guides for people with autism to figure out what public displays of affection are. Oh my god. That's not me. I use PDAs every day. Public displays of affection. I feel like I'm affectionate to you guys as like the viewership, right? Like, I don't get to do this without you. So I would say that my streams are pseudo displays of affection, and they are public. I would like to know what a PDA device is. No, it's not pathological demand avoidance. What the hell? This is widely understood to be polite, to be a profile found within some autism people. Huh? Autistic people. What the heck? Pathological demand avoidance. PDA device? Is that what I need to search? Yeah, personal digital assistant. It was basically just like a diary, basically. It was like a digital diary that you could have on hand. However, the original ones were fucking huge. Look at this. Can you imagine carrying this in your pocket? Look at that. That's how big they were back in the day. They were iPads before iPads? To an extent, yeah. An old artifact. People had these. You remember when your dad got the Palm Pilot? That shit was awesome. I remember when there were like early smartwatches. I don't know if you guys knew about this, but there were like digital watches that came out in the early 2000s that a bunch of kids would bring to school, and they could play video games on them, and they had all these different functions. And then I realized nowadays it's like, wait a second, that's just like the Apple watches. They weren't Fitbits. They didn't have any health benefits. They had like, you could play like various different games. I remember asking my parents, could we get one? And they said, no, it's too much money. Calculator watches as well. Yeah, that's true. You could play games on those. Yeah, I mean, you could play games on, what are they called? The T80, TI-84s. I had one of those for high school maths and never using it. Now you can watch anime women on the internet. Isn't that crazy? That's true. Texas Instruments did a lot for computing. Yeehaw! Do you remember everything the black kid was rocking in Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide? I don't know what that is. I don't know what Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide is. I can't copy paste it because chat's moving too fast. Ned's Declassified School Survival Guide 2004. Oh, I was like a bit too old for that. I think I might have been way too old for this. Also, I've never heard of this show before. It's an American kid show that aired in 2004. I was a bit too old for this, I think. I was not in my 30s by then, thank you very much. But I was on my way to adulthood, I guess. I think that might have been a show for, like, kids who were maybe half my age, perhaps.